Welcome to the Creative Table. In today's video, episode 1 of my PowerPoint mini-series, I will be teaching you the very basics of PowerPoint. Now, PowerPoint is such a great program to use for school projects, work presentations, creating your own resources, or just for fun. And to make it simple for you guys, I have written down 5 key areas that we're going to be looking at and learning about today. So the 5 key areas are starting and choosing a slide design, adding text, shapes and images, adding slides, adding animation, and saving your PowerPoint. Now, if you already know how to do all of these things, then maybe this video is not for you. However, if you are just starting out PowerPoint and you have no idea of how to do any of these, then definitely keep on watching. What you have to do for starters is open up PowerPoint. So just double click that. Now, as you can see, there is a blank presentation selected right now. Now, if you do look to your right and below the blank presentation, you'll see a variety of other presentation slide designs that you can choose from. Now, if you want to just have a preview of one of these, all you have to do is just click it once and it will come up as you can see it is doing now here. And if you want to have a look at what the actual layout of these slides are, you can click the arrow to the right to see more layouts of what's actually pictured in this particular presentation. So as you can see, that's the layout of this particular PowerPoint presentation design. And you can see here to the right, they do also have a variety of different colors that you can choose from and slightly different designs as well. Some of these ones will have more than 4 options. But today we will be starting on a blank presentation. However, before we do that, what I can say for you, if you are looking for a particular type of theme, what you can do in this text box up here, or search bar I should say, up the top here, you could type in a particular subject. For example, I will type in education. And it will search online the templates or themes that it has under education. So you've just got to wait for that to load. And as you can see, there's a bunch of different layouts coming out for education. Now, if you just, like I said, click it once, you'll be able to see a bigger version of the actual slide design. And if you go more images, you get to see what is actually in the actual PowerPoint. And you can see if that's suited for you or not. Okay, alright, so we're just going to go back. Now what you're going to do here is we're going to be clicking the blank presentation. So what you've got here is basically a blank page. Okay, so they've got one slide and a blank page, there's nothing on it. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be choosing our slide design. So we've already started up PowerPoint, now we're going to choose a slide design. So there's nothing on this slide at the moment. So if you can look up to the top red box here where my mouse is, you'll see a bunch of tabs. Now the tab that you will need to choose your design is labeled clearly design. So we're going to go and click that design. Now what you're going to do is you're going to choose a design that you like. There are a few more designs. If you click this arrow down beside this purple and white PowerPoint slide, if you click that, the drop down menu will come down and you will see a variety of different other PowerPoint presentations you can choose from. Now if you want to just get a preview of that, you don't have to click them, but all you have to do is mouse over them and you will see their preview, and that can determine whether you want to choose that particular slide or slide design or not. So in this particular video, I'm just going to choose this slide design. So I'm going to click that one. I think that one's quite nice. And if you look up in the top right here, you'll also see there's a few other different colours for this particular design. And if you go down to this arrow here, you also see there's a few more featured there that you can choose from. So that's quite a cool thing to do. Now just another little note, if you want to change the colours within the actual PowerPoint, you can go to colours just underneath here, and as you can see it will brighten it or make it darker depending on what the color scheme is. So I think I'm just going to, I might actually just keep it at this custom one, or change it to this custom one just to make it a bit brighter. Now, okay, so what we're going to do now, we've done section 1, now we're going to be moving on to adding text, shapes and images. So let's start off by adding our title. So as you can see, there's a text box down below which says click to add title. So that's pretty self-explanatory. All we have to do is one click and we have a line that's flashing. So this is going to allow us to basically write in our text. So let's just go ahead and write in our text. Okay, so I've written, just quickly fix that, it's all in capitals so I don't know why it's asking me that. Anyway, we've sorted out that beginning text, so I've written PowerPoint Basics for Beginners. I'm just going to add my little subtitle in here. I'm just going to write who it's by. So, by the Creative Table. Lovely. So, we've inserted our text. So, I'm looking at this now though, and I don't particularly like the font of the text that I've got here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change it. So the way I do this is basically if I just click again onto that text that I want to change, and generally all I do is I just select the whole part that I want to change. If I go back to home and I click in this little box here where I've got writing, it'll show me a variety of all the fonts that I can choose from. So if I just mouse over them, as you can see, it is starting to change them and you'll get a preview of what it's going to look like on the page. So for this PowerPoint, I think I might choose, let's choose this one. This one is a font that I did download from TPT, so thank you to the person who created this text. I think it was a free font. Now I'll link whoever created this font in the description. Now, as you can see, I've changed my font, but what I want to do here is, so I can see it's kind of all bunched up. So basically what I want to do is if I extend this by just clicking on this little circle here, you'll see the arrows come up. If I just move that over here and extend it out a bit more, there we go. That is going to make it a little bit, just in one straight line, a little bit bigger for us to write in that box. But as you can see, it's going off the page. So what I want to do is I want to change the size. So again, I'm just going to select all of that text. And you can see next to the text font button selection, then you've got a number. So this is your font size. So if I just go to the arrow below, I might change it to, let's just, maybe 40. I'll change it to 40 and I'll just move it over so now it's on the actual page. Because I think it's a little bit light, what I might do as well is I might actually make it bold. So just go back up here again and make it bold, just to make it that little bit more darker. No, that's fine. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be changing the bottom text here. So I'm going to move that over here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger again, so doing the same thing. You can also press these two buttons with the A and the arrow going up or the arrow going down. That just helps you, instead of clicking on here to choose a side, you can just easily click that. So I'll go to 37 will be fine. I'm going to stretch that out and move that here. And I'm going to leave that there, and I'm just going to change the font again. And it's great because you can see, instead of scrolling all the way down to the bottom to try and find the font that you just chose, you can just have a look here at recently used fonts. So I'm just going to use the same font that I used for the first text, or first title, and then I'm just going to put that there. Okay, so that's the text done on the page. Now if I wanted to add any more text, what I could do is, because I already used the ones that were on the page, if I want to add some more text, all I'm going to do is go to Insert, and I'm going to click here in this little section, Text Box. As you can see, I'll get this little cross type thing, and all I'm going to do is draw where or how big my text box is, and then I can easily write into my text box. But for now, I don't need any more text on this page, so I'm just going to click that and delete. Okay, what I do want, however, is because I feel like this title is getting a little bit lost in the background of this, is I'm going to add a shape. So what we can do for that is, for adding a shape, we can click Insert, looking at this part here, clicking the arrow for the shapes downwards, and we're going to choose a rectangle. So you can see I've got this cross. Now what I have to do is I have to click that down and create, so hold that down, hold the left mouse button down, and I'm going to create my text, my shape box. Okie dokie. So I've made my shape box. I want to change the colour though, I don't want to have it blue. So if you go up to the top here, you can see the shape fill. So I'm just going to click down, and I'm going to click the white background. Now I don't want an outline on this shape, so I'm just going to go to Shape Outline and click No Outline. Now as you can see, if I click away, you can't see my text anymore. Now to be able to move this white box behind the text, what I have to do is I have to click on it so that it is selected. I have to right click, and then as you can see in the drop down menu that comes up, I'm going to center back. So I'm going to center back, and as you can see, if I've sent it to the back, my PowerPoint title has now come to the front. So that's great, so I'm going to leave that there. Now what I'm going to be doing now is, I think I'm happy with the text and my subtitle there. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be adding another shape. So I'm going to insert again, shapes, and if you can see down here, there's all different types of shapes that you can play with. These already come with PowerPoint, so there's all different types of shapes you can play with. So I'm going to use the heart just to make it nice and cute and pretty. And I might just add that there. So again, if I don't want that to be blue, if I go down to here, there's some already pre-made colours that I can choose from. So if I just mouse over them, it will show me a little example of what it would look like on the page. Otherwise, if I click away and I go to Shape Fill, I can do the same thing there. So I might make it this nice teal colour. And I'm going to again get rid of the outline. Now one thing I wanted to show you with this is, if I don't like any of the colours that is in my standard colour theme, what I can do then is actually go to More Fill Colours. So More Fill Colours, I can go to Custom or Standard. So this will allow me to choose what colour I would like it to be. I'm just going to stick to Custom, because this one you can kind of alter a little bit better. As you can see, this is the preview for the colour. So I might go that kind of aqua teal, bright greeny blue colour. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so now what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be adding a picture. Now this is pretty simple, so all that you have to do here is, if you go up to this red box, and you can see amongst the tabs there's an Insert tab. So what you're going to be doing is clicking on the Insert tab, and now if you can look to just underneath the Insert tab, you will have pictures. Now there are, obviously you can see options to the right to add online pictures, a screenshot, or photos from a particular photo album, but we're not going to worry about those today. That might be talked about in another video. So for today, we're just going to be adding a picture from either our desktop or from a folder that we have a picture that we want to import into this PowerPoint. So I'm just going to click Pictures here. Okay, and I'm just going to open one of my folders, and I'm going to be using, just wait for them to load up, but I think it might be this one here, yes. So I'm going to add this one here, so it's just the Creative Table logo. So I'm going to add that one there. Now as you can see, the pictures come out quite a large size, so what I need to do is actually scale this down. So the way that I do that is just, if you can have a look and see those little round circles, all we're going to be doing is grabbing that with our mouse and holding down the left mouse button, and you can see that there are the arrows that are coming up just above it. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to drag it inwards and we're going to make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so I think that's going to be a good size for me. Now if I want to make this particular image stand out, what I'm going to do is, if I just look, because it's already selected, if I look up here under format, there are a range of different frames or borders, depending on what you want to call them, that I can add to this particular photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the drop down menu, and I'm going to, particularly, if you just like you did with the PowerPoint designs before, just mouse over those, you can see the kind of designs that these borders will give you. But now I'm just going to choose this particular frame, just because it kind of matches the background that I've got going on here, which I think is quite nice. So I'm going to add that. And and if I just click away, that is going to make or insert a picture. So it's pretty easy and pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, if you wanted to add another one, you can definitely do that. All you have to do is go back to Insert, Pictures, and then choose from your files. Okie dokie, so that is basically how to add an image into a PowerPoint presentation. And now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding a slide. So once I'm happy with that first title page or slide, what I'm going to be doing is adding a new slide. So there's a few different ways to do this. So what you can do for starters is, if you look up in this home section, you'll see a big new slide button there. So what I can do here is I can click new slide. Otherwise, if I want to get a particular layout, if I click this little arrow down below, it'll show me what I can choose from. So for now, I'm just going to show you what it would look like for just a new slide. So a new slide is just going to be completely blank, but if I was to click on one of these already pre-made slides, I might choose, for example, this one, and this would come with the blue already on it. Okay, so I'll just delete that. We're going to go here, so that's adding a slide. If you want to add a slide in another way, what you can do is you can right click and just click new slide just on this side panel here. So either way is quite easy, but you'll see the new slide button there. Otherwise, if you can't be bothered to click that, you can just right click and new slide again. So that's how you add slides to your presentation. Now, adding animation. This isn't as hard as you may think. So all you need to do basically is click on the slide that you want to add animation to, and as you can see in the tabs up here, you have an animations tab. You want to be clicking on the animations tab. What I want to do here is I'm going to give this white box an animation. So as you can see, we're in the animations part. Now these little stars here basically represent what type of animation you can get. Now if you just basically hover over them, they will explain what happens with these particular animations. So I'm going to, for this one, I'm going to click fade. Now as you can see, it had a little preview of that. So here we've got the number, so that's the first animation that's going to come about. Now if I wanted to add an animation to the actual text, what I could do is click on the text, and then I might do the text using a bounce. You can see how that will come through. Okie dokie, so we've got 1, 2 is the text. We might do 3 here. We're going to change this heart to be maybe grow and shrink. And that's quite a cool animation. Now transitions are a little bit different. So basically if we click on transitions, this tab next door to animations, you'll see there's a few different types of transitions. So this is basically the whole slide that it's transitioning to the next slide. That's basically what these transitions do. So if we go to this arrow down here, I'm going to click honeycomb. This one is quite a cool transition, so click on that and you'll get a preview of what it would look like in your presentation. Okie dokie. Okay, so basically if I was to press this button here, slideshow, to see the final slideshow, now there's not going to be much because these are blank, but just for the beginning slide, if we click here, just have a look, you will see that the honeycomb effect happened first, and then if I click, we have the box. If I click again, the writing is coming through, and then it should be the heart moving. Beautiful. And then we will go straight through our other slides. Okay, so now once you've finished your PowerPoint, what you're going to do is don't forget to save it. Now if you're working with the PowerPoint presentation for the first time, you don't press just save, you need to be pressing save as. So what you're going to do is click save as if it's the first time you've ever saved it or saved the particular presentation you're working on. Find a place that is going to be somewhere safe and name it something that you will remember. That will be fine for me, and make sure it's on PowerPoint presentation, and all you have to do is click save, and so that it will rename the actual presentation, as you can see up the top here. And so whenever you update this particular PowerPoint, now all that you have to do is go File, Save if you've made any changes, or even click this little button up here, this little save disk there. So that is the end of this PowerPoint. I hope that you did enjoy watching this PowerPoint and maybe that you learned something new. Like I said, this PowerPoint is really designed for people that have never used PowerPoint before. So if you are one of those people that haven't ever used it, I hope that this tutorial did help you out in some way, shape or form. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to show your support, please subscribe and don't forget to like and comment. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in episode 2.